1, 2, ready. And we are live. It's no violence. Say no to violence.
No violence.
And we are live. Hi guys, you're welcome
to my YouTube channel. My name is Arowolo, and this is the OAsis.
And this is his delectable, admirable, beautiful wife, Omidan. And I'm not Omidan again, no.
Yeah, Orikilewa.
Arábìnrin Titilope Arowolo.
That's good. So and today we have our little boy here saying hello. Yeah. Say, come on, say hello to them. Yeah, say back. Say hi. Yeah, that's boy.
He's baby.
So he wants to stay with us. So today we'll be sharing with you how it has been since the last 1 year and some months.
In our last video, we talked about how happy we were seeing each other again, now living together. So what we want to share today is how we're able to cope during our 1 year
long distance
relationship
marriage.
Long distance marriage relationship. So it took me hard to move to the UK a year before I moved in. That was May last year. Then I came to join him in June this year, and we could only say it was just the grace of God that helped us, because
only the grace of God was able to do that.
Yeah, first and foremost, our marriage was still pretty much very young. We got married 2020, then COVID, then he had to move. It was just like that. Then the amazing thing about it was that.
Oh, Tiala Olua, we understand. Thank you. So.
And the amazing thing about it all was that I was pregnant. Like this young man was still in the stomach. I was heavily pregnant. He had to move some days before I gave birth to Tiala Olua. And so you can imagine a newborn, the father somewhere you cannot just rush to. So it was quite.
Yeah, I was very particular about going first and not having her with me, because it's a new place and I needed to test the waters to know how things were, and before I bring my family for some particular reasons, Well, how did we cope?
I think we should start with the challenges first before we
No, let's start from where it started. When I was leaving, what happened? Something happened in the morning the day I was to travel. What happened?
You know what
I don't want to talk about it.
It's a lie. I will talk about it.
What happened?
I'll talk about. Okay, so look of you. I mean, in the midst of it all, packing, his siblings came, his mom, his sisters, they came to come and pack his clothes. I mean, I was pregnant, so I really couldn't do much. So they came to pack the different loads. We packed African food, some African food. Then there was a law in the UK that, when you come around, you have to use 10 days for isolation and everything. So we prepared that. So in the midst of that, trying to get, okay, where was we we going to stay? We didn't really even have time to say, oh, your husband and wife, let's have some cozy moments, let's all we didn't really have that time, because number one, my stomach was big. But
I didn't mind.
So that night, the morning, that was around maybe 5 a.m. because before 5 a.m. I just had somebody from my sleep. I had somebody making some sound. I like to say this because two of me like to claim strong. With Arowolo, you like claiming strong.
I don't claim.
He's strong. That's just it doesn't really. It's not really the kind of person that will be showing his emotions up and down. I just had him crying. I'm like, and his own was like, how am I gonna do it? How are we going to do it?
That's the only way I can live.
I won't be here to see my firstborn. I won't be here to see you. How are we going to manage? And Really? Like, is it real?
Yeah.
And of course, it was very real.
Well, Jesus wept. Cried too.
So he cried. That was actually, it's very good to see the vulnerable parts of him, and it's also good for everyone too. You could show your partner your vulnerability, let them know your fears, which is a very good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so how were we not able to do it? When he moved, then when he moved, of course, he just left. Then we started calling. We'll call every day. We'll chat because, of course, the vibe will be there. You just left. So
yes, actually, I think I wanted to say something. I spent most of my hours of the day talking to people.
Yeah, that was because
very difficult.
School has never started fully. Of course, that will be shocking. I think that's that.
It was not shocking.
No, I mean, yes, you don't get what I'm trying to say because of our audience. That when it's not immediately that the challenges will come, because you guys just left each other, of course. So you keep calling, the communication will still be there. You want to keep it intact, but along the line, you have responsibilities. School will call you. How will have to take care of the baby. So those are the those are the moments that were really, really challenging. So how were we able to undo those moments?
Exactly. Oh,
I think let me start. Yeah, for us,
I like to maintain some eye contact with you.
Okay, so I think for us, it's more or less like one thing I've always told my husband, even before we got married, was I always make emphasis on friendship. That no matter what, we gotta be friends. No matter what is happening, if you cannot settle it in the husband and wife context, let's come back to how we were before we got married. That's why it's always very good to marry your friend, because if you are your partner friend, you'll be able to understand. Sometimes you'll be able to understand them as a friend. Then there's something you are not be able to understand as a spouse. You are expecting your partner to be this perfect, but when you bring it to friendship level, you'll be able to understand and make.
Tell
He's doing some drama.
No, he's gonna put off the lights.
Now she girl.
No, he has cooperated. Thank you. Come over.
No, just let him be. So we ensure that the lights of the friendship, we didn't allow it to go dim. So we keep calling, we keep talking. Now this is not the time that we made use of different mode of communication. Not just it has to be call only. I'm the kind of person that just like texting, because we are in two different countries, miles apart. So it's either I'm texting or we are calling. We'll do video call, we'll do audio call. So it was really, really encouraging that way. So we ensured that friendship was really.
I think what kept us was basically friendship. We're friends of each other. We wanted to know how things were going. At some point, when things became very tough, I started blaming myself for some reasons that I left my wife.
Okay, I think we should share that a bit. So after some days when Sukomi got to the UK, then if you go to a new place, you might actually have to react. So at one point, he could not sleep. Like, guys, he could not sleep for weeks. This is not you wake up and then you just abuse. Okay, I slept for 2 hours. No, he could not sleep. He would literally close his eyes and he won't sleep.
Day 1, day 2, 3, 4. Yes, I didn't sleep.
Like,
5,
it went for days.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
11
day, I became extremely worried that I was almost to be referred to a counselor, blah, 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 blah. Eventually, I spoke to a counselor. And I knew this was not just it. There was something.
I don't know if there was something, but for me...
But there was something. You don't know what it was. What? I was missing God.
You're missing God?
Yes.
How will you be missing God? Wow.
Because then I got into a new environment. The couple of weeks I've spent, I had an opportunity to fellowship actually. Okay,
is it when you were staying with them that you did it?
When I was in the hostel, before I now realized that they had a campus.
Okay, yeah. So it's true.
It affected me that much because what you have been used to over the period of time, and you suddenly disconnected, it's like you lost your man, or it's like you lost your map. So I felt like I was doing everything wrong. I felt I left my wife. I was actually should have done that. That's the feeling. And I started blaming myself.
And yeah, there were actually emphasis on that when when it calls and it's trying to. So now this is actually for couples also. Sometimes your partner can be in that down moment. You have to actually be able to stand up and just say, no, this is not how it is. No, you will come and feel like, are you sure I did the right thing? Are you sure I should have left it? And then I was also going through postpartum changes, a lot of, maybe I had stitches, so a lot of, maybe when it called, I'm like, oh no, I'm not really feeling so good, I'm feeling pain here. So part of him was really feeling overwhelmed and guilty about it, that am I sure he did the right thing? And most time we question his ability. Oh, are you sure? Did you sure that I should have waited? What is the essence of this when my family is almost that? And I told him that you did the right thing, like you did the right thing. Of course, nobody, I can't tell you.
I'm just appreciating you for how much you. No, honestly speaking, I was just whispering to her that she's been a very awesome lady, and she has been the one that has been even during the times that I was having those difficult times. What did you do?
Yeah, that's what I was actually about to show. So I ensured that I kept on encouraging him. Of course, there was this thing I always tell him, that in honest, responsibility is not just about maybe being physically present. It's about you being there, emotionally. If you are not there, be there one way or the other. And I told him that he wasn't doing less than those that even their parents or the father were actually being around. He wasn't doing lesser than them at all. He was doing the most he could with all situations, paying the bills. And of course, so that is necessary, calling, checking up, how is the baby. And I don't think he actually missed on any part of maybe to a lot who are growing up for that 1 year.
Yes, I didn't miss. You missed.
Yes, it might be the physical aspect.
But the physical aspect, I felt missed out. And for the very few minutes, hours that we don't talk, I really can't say I know anything that was happening at that moment. Even the video clips were not enough, the video calls was not enough. And I needed to have that feel.
It was
psychologically telling.
I was always telling him something that, as a couple, when you make a decision, life is not fair, actually. That's just the truth. It's about you taking some risks sometimes. So we've made the decision. We said this is what we are doing. You are going, I am staying. Let's stick to it. Don't when you start thinking about, if I have I should not, you start feeling bitter. You start feeling, that's when the devil will start saying, the devil will start saying the wrong things to you at that moment. But when you know that, okay, this is the decision, we made it together. That's why it is very necessary that two becomes one, and then, you are making the decision together. It's not just, so there is no part of where I'm saying, it's your decision. It was our decision that you should go for this, and I was going to meet you. So I think for us, those were really challenging moments when he couldn't sleep. It was really challenging because I would wake up and then I would call him. And now this wasn't even the part that there was no God in it, because I knew I was really praying, talking to God. And at one point we're like, hey, are you sure that this success is it real? But the things of God, the word of God says that the blessing of the Lord enriches and it does not add sorrow to you.
Yeah.
So for someone out there listening to you, you are stepping into that victory. And of course, maybe you are facing some challenges. Storm is also rising, even while you are seeing that sea. Remember that Jesus is in the boat. So you'll be victorious, because the blessing of the Lord
enriches and it does not add sorrow to you. That has been our scripture saying Chala's pregnancy.
So no matter what the devil is saying, this is the blessing.
Yeah, it is.
Go through the process with God by your side. Never let go of God. Okay, so I think another thing that could serve as a challenge while we were apart was, career paths a bit. We were missing out on each other's career. He wasn't really there to understand, okay, what is Titi going through? How are you doing? I had to let go of maybe some.
See what my son brought in here. You know what this is?
Yeah.
Wood scrubber. Thank you.
So like maybe career path, I wasn't really there to be. We used to say this because when I was in school, I was more like a scholar, and he loves reading. So I used to say, we're gonna write your PhD together. We'll do this together. But we had it to cable.
Yeah.
So we were basically missing out on that also. He was missing out on my own journey of career, and I even took a break from that anyway. But that was a bit telling on us. And when we notice, okay, maybe you're not really checking up on me. I told you I have meeting with my supervisor. Now, real life has
reality has come.
Yeah, reality has come. The baby was already growing. The PhD stuff was already kicking in, and different schedules, and we noticed that we're missing out on each other's life. So we had to take a pause. This is not like everyone is perfect. No one was perfect. So we have to take a pause and tell us, okay, this is what I would need you to do. So you made emphasis on, I would like you to check up on me. When I tell you that I'm going for this meeting, take note of it. Call me at the end of it. How did it go? So it wasn't easy initially, but I had to actually learn how to do that. Okay, how was your meeting? Were you able to see your supervisor? Were you able to do this? Were you able to do that? And I think that also helped us.
It really did. It did help us, and it also helped me to feel like I have a wife and I have someone who cares about me. And you know, some of these things, the journey is not easy alone. I won't lie to you. It's not easy alone. So you need a true supporter, a true helper. It may not just be physical. Support is beyond just lovey.
Yeah.
And all of those things that I think about, you know, that kodu, love. When reality and challenges of life comes, you need a true helper.
And I think another thing I also want to talk about, before, sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, it's your ground. You own me.
Is family support. God, like, we had a good support system for families, for friends. Like, so marriage, even though it's you and your partner that you are entering the marriage, need to talk. It's you and your partner. They'll say no third party. But somehow you that marriage, because both of you are now one. You're treating yourself one.
No, there are two families coming together.
Yeah, so you have to have good support. Now, for people that always say, it's just me and my husband, which is good. It's just me and my husband,
yeah.
It's just me and my husband. But you need the support of people. That's why you also need discernment from the Holy Spirit. Like, let God help you to discern, okay, who are the right people to come your way? Who should you embrace? Who should you not embrace? Embrace anything. So may God save us from that. Let me say that in English. That may God not allow us to embrace the wrong set of people.
On this note, we want to also appreciate our families.
Yeah.
My wife's family. I want to especially thank my wife's mother. She was there all through, and she provided all the required support. All that, in fact, she went above and beyond. Yeah, I'll call it above and beyond. So I want to thank her special, and I want to thank Daddy too, and the brothers and our in-laws, and also
the Arowolo family. For me, like, my in-laws were amazing. They were beyond amazing. At one point, my husband would be like, "How come you are?" You look as if you actually even knew the people that I lived with more than himself. I'm like, yeah, that was how it was for me, because I had good support system for my sister-in-laws, for my mother-in-laws, for my father-in-law, my brother-in-law. You know, I'm actually so grateful to God that they had this family that
they're all welcoming.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like they were saying me like, oh, it's a girl from another family. You know, they were already seeing like their parts, their inner. Most time when they see me as they're still to come in. That was the way it was for us. So we had good family support.
Yeah. No, I think there was a shift. You started calling my mom what I call her, mommy, and she also started calling you my last one sort of thing. So this is a jealous boy. So I was also jealous because she was calling my mother mommy.
We had good friends too. Yeah. We had amazing friends that were actually there. So in case I need anything or I needed help, I needed to go to the clinic, all these things, we had some people, friends that would just call and they always show up for. So to all our families and our friends, we say we love you. Thank you so much. So now coming back, let's now look at intimacy.
Before we go to intimacy, I think we should just end that aspect of it with this, where if you think it is just you and your husband, myself and my husband alone, I don't know how far you want to go, but you need people in your life. You need a relationship in your life. If you want to go fast, you can go alone. But if you want to go far, you need some companies for you to enjoy the journey and for it to be easier for you. Right now, we need to go for a parental break. Yes.
And we'll be back.
And we'll be back shortly. Okay.
I just want to know that we are comfortable. Hey guys, and we are back now.
And you're welcome back, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, so we're about to talk about intimacy. So a lot of people say, they can't do long distance relationship because of intimacy. How are we going to keep the fire burning? How do we still want to be intimate with one another? Of course, there cannot be physical intimacy because your husband is apart, you are apart, you the wife too, you are apart. But there are levels of things you can still do that could still keep your intimacy well going. Number one, the words you use when you're talking. Ensure you see. For us, we're still there for one another. I also have our days when we also go offline, meaning when we have issues or we have quarrel. But we just have to know that sometimes for me, whenever we have some of those misunderstandings, I know that some of this is just because of miscommunication, because we are not seeing each other. He is not saying that, okay, this is not what I meant. I wasn't laughing when I said this. I was laughing. It was just a joke. Sometimes I might be joking and he might have thought, oh no, I was being serious. So I have to calm down.
Yes, sometimes I may think things are getting too serious and I just react. Because we're not in the same physical space, I can't see our facial expression. She also can't see my facial expression. So there's that gap in that communication somehow, the connection. Yeah. So
we'll just come back.
Even video call cannot solve that connection, because when you can read mode, you can make some calculations about what happened, antecedent, and the future. So
yeah, you're good. So we'll come back again, then we'll talk about it.
This is just a scratch on the surface. It's a sensitive topic, and
which is the intimacy. So I think for us, what we also do is that when we talk, we'll call ourselves our good name. We'll try to bring back old memories. That actually work for us. We always bring back our old memory. Do you remember when we had this? Do you remember when we went to this place? Do you remember this, our first dates? Do you remember all those things? So we'll say it, and then we'll remember, oh my God, this is it. This is the guy I chose before. This is the person I'm still going to do this work with. This is the man I loved, and this is the man I'm still going to love. So we keep for us, that was it. Then Ola was able to initiate something that actually really helped us also, the games.
Okay, so online games.
He was able to go online. They would tell me, okay, download chess, download this. They will come together, we'll play. And sometimes we put money, and that reminds me, like, you're owing me 5K.
5K.
Yeah. I won that game.
Anyway, you claimed that you won, but I taught you. I taught you how to win. That play this, and you win.
And I won.
And I was teaching you, and you think you won.
I won.
You go win. So, my own teaching that this is how to win. She now consider that kind of winning a win. Is it a winning?
It's my winning, because I won.
Okay.
So
have you returned the money, all the money that you borrowed?
Maybe we should finish this time.
All right, so guys. So
we play some games, and we also go online. I go online. I do some research. What's your best game? What's your true size? All those things, just to keep
random stuff.
It doesn't have to be serious,
strange or weirdest questions to ask your partner and all of those things. So that's it.
It doesn't have to be very serious.
Yeah, cut.
Finally. Talk about prayer.
Prayer.
Communication with God.
Communication is with God. I remember, in as much as I felt like I wasn't in my original domain and my regular ways of doing things, we still were able to maintain that morning prayer, and we'll pray from time to time. When challenges looks like it and we have the nudge to pray, we'll go intense, and at some point fasting. And prayer is just the solution to all things. I won't say anything less than that. I won't say anything more than that. The solution is a key. It's a master key. So you have to find a way around that so as to maintain a constant communication and prayer life with your partner. And my wife here, machine.
Stop. So we ensure that
you have to keep that firing. So we ensure the you keep the fire burning. It's very important. And I remember jumping from one morning prayer to another morning prayer. At some point in time, you get to a point in time in your life, if you're at that stage in your life where you feel like, oh, this is getting too much overwhelming, that you feel like God is not listening, it's a lie. That's the strategy of the devil. He's actually listening. If you go to the book of Daniel, chapter 10, and you get to realize that God actually hears our prayer, just that the enemy is always at work. So we have to be steadfast. You may be very close to your goal, and you want to stop praying at that moment. You don't want to actually stop praying at that very moment. You keep praying. Yeah, you keep praying. So prayer is the key. And what do you want to say again?
Yeah, so I think for us, those were some of the basic things that helped us. Our communication, our friendship was cocoa. Then, even when we had our misunderstanding, we go back to how it was before. This is the first thing. I mean, before, I didn't dare to say this. Before Sukami travel, we had like we don't even know how God did that. Maybe God just allowed that happen. We had some very good moments before he traveled that we didn't even have misunderstanding. I don't even know how those days happened, that we jailed like for like weeks or months.
I would say is a product of praying in advance.
Yeah, so it was so good.
Praying to the future.
So most time when we now notice that like there is a shift, things were not really going on well, we'll remember those days. Then we'll be like, do you remember before you traveled? Do you remember this? And it's not like
I remember something happened that was supposed to be a serious issue. Yeah, some messages that came in from somebody on WhatsApp to you, and then you showed me.
Oh, exactly.
And
like, of course, the enemy is always at work. People always want to break you up. People, even when you guys, after when the long distance, you have to be careful of friends. Also, there are some friends that are not just good, or they are good, but their good is not enough for you. So you also have to be careful. The people that you are not associating with, don't say, oh, because my spouse has left, I can now start associating with them. Then for the man too, that maybe that traveled, or the lady, this is not the time for you to now say you want to start keeping close contacts with another opposite sex. It can't work that way. Imagine.
Why are you pointing that way? Is there an opposite sex there?
No. Imagine him being in the UK and he say, oh, my wife is not here, then I can allow people to come in. Let's females come and greet me morning tonight.
So I think what she's trying to say is that not everyone is in your kind of shoe. You are wearing a special shoe, so anybody else's advice may not suffice for your own situation. So you have to be very careful. The best advice you can have whenever you're in marriage is from God, because He's the one that instituted the relationship. It's a triangle relationship, so you want to maintain that horizontal level with your partner, and the vertical level. Yeah, it's a coordinated one. So God gives the instruction at the top, and the both of you have to make it work at the bottom. So I think we'll keep it at that for this episode.
Yes, guys. Then we'll meet again for our next episode. Juicy, interesting, and of course informative.
Yeah. So guys, thank you very much. What do you say to my
audience? Please ensure that you like, subscribe, share to friends. And of course, you could always tell us ideas that you want us to shoot on. We are trying to be consistent, We are still trying to balance our schedules and everything. But of course, you're always in our hearts.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. See you in the next. I need your breakfast. Later. See you in our next video.
Bye.
Tell Aloha. Would you say bye to our audience?
Tell her bye-bye.
Say.
Bye-bye.
Say bye.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you.